Before you jump into the video, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Oh boy. Here, I don't condone underage drinking, and I'm not underage, but for anyone who is, don't do that. But that is literally what I want to do after seeing the news that I just saw. Obviously, I've changed up the title card for The Walking Dead a little bit. Is this the end? I don't know. If this news is true, it will be the end for me. Obviously, the title says it all. Andrew Lincoln reportedly will be leaving the show after 6 episodes of Season 9. So not even the entire... So, alright, if we're assuming that Season 9 has the usual 16 episodes, we're saying that he's only going to be in 6 of them. That's not even half of the season. And apparently, Daryl is supposed to be the new lead of the show, taking over Rick's place. There are 700 questions that are going through my head, and that's why I had to make this vlog. I wanted to make it yesterday when this news actually broke the internet. And actually, it's funny, my computer died, the hard drive died, the hard drive failed. It was one of those old spinny disk hard drives, and it died. I had to get a new one. I'm still trying to get all of my files to put them on this computer. I literally had to re-download XSplit, all my programs, all my editing software. It took a while. It took a few hours. But I'm back up and operational, and I'll be able to have this thrown into an editor and put on my YouTube channel. So, fortunately, that's all good. But, yeah, this kind of sucks in many ways, and I'm just gonna read this article because it came from, again, so AMC didn't officially, let me just say that AMC did not officially announce this. This was announced by it was a news site that claims they have insider information. It's not The Spoiling Dead, but nonetheless, still information to be trifled with. So, leading man Andrew Lincoln will appear in a handful of episodes of the upcoming 9th season of the AMC drama. The face of The Walking Dead is leaving the franchise. Star Andrew Lincoln, who has played beleaguered former Sheriff Rick Grimes since the show's premiere. Sorry, the font was all weird. Will exit the AMC zombie drama and its upcoming 9th season. Sources confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter. Meanwhile, co-star Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, is in the midst of negotiating a rich new deal that will pay him more than $20 million as he will become the new #1 on the call sheet. Sources say Lincoln will be phased out in Season 9 in a fashion similar to co-star Laura Cohan, who will film only 6 episodes of the series. Cohan, who plays Maggie, opted to exit the highly rated AMC drama and book the lead in ABC's Whiskey Cavalier after her efforts to renegotiate a new deal to stay on The Walking Dead went south. After ABC picked up the Whiskey Cavalier for series for a mid-season bout, it closed the door on Cohen's full-time return to the series. Even if she had closed a new deal, AMC declined to comment. Lincoln's decision to leave came as a major shock for the franchise, which ranks as one of the top dramas on all of television among total viewers. And the advertisers coveted adults 18 to 49 demographic. What's more, Lincoln's Rick is still the focal point of creator Robert Kirkman's comics, in which the AMC-based drama is based on. Now, that's true with Carl as well. So Carl is also a major part of the Walking Dead comic book moving forward. Now, again, I can kind of understand, at this point, they killed Carl off so that Rick had a reason to let Negan live, okay? It fit with the story, and it fixed the problem, because in the comic book, Rick randomly wants to keep Negan alive. He's like, oh, you saved Negan's life, and it's just something that comes out of nowhere. And they wanted to fix this in the show, and Rick really had to have a really solid reason for wanting... I mean, he's told this guy he's wanted to kill him. You know, I'm going to kill you, not today, not tomorrow. He said this to Negan's face twice. Negan's killed his friends, Abraham and Glenn, and multiple others, and Rick has Rick wants this guy dead. And there's the only thing possible that could change his mind is his closest family member, dying and having some dying wishes, and that's literally Carl, because Judith's not of age yet, and so that's literally the only way they could have done this. And then you have hope with younger talent moving up with Henry and Judith. So you have two younger characters who could come up and take Carl's place in the comics books with some of the Whisperer storylines and some of the things in that regard, okay? Now, that, so that was why at the time, so back last half season, I was worried, like, oh, how is Carl going to, how are they going to do this now that Carl's gone? Now, there is literally no way possible they can make this show. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, there is no way they can make this show successful without Rick. This TV show, The Walking Dead, is Rick's show. We have been following this guy for 8 seasons, over 100 episodes, and now he has finally defeated Negan, and he is trying to restart and rejump civilization. How on earth, in 6 episodes, are they going to tell his story, having lived for 2 years, 3 years, whatever this time jump is going to be? How are they going to tell his story and then systematically kill him off? And Maggie, let's not forget, we're going to see her with a newborn child, Glenn's baby, and then something's going to happen. So basically 2 main characters, Maggie and Rick, something is going to happen to them, or they're just going to leave. Maybe like Morgan style, they're going to leave. But again, with the case with Morgan is that he's on another show. He's on Fear the Walking Dead, so he's already filming and doing stuff with another crew. Rick is just leaving the show. This is ridiculous, man. Like, The Walking Dead's over. There is no way this show can be successful without Rick. And there's no reason, like, how can I can't watch this show now, really, because in my book, like, Rick Grimes was the one character that I was, like, the main reason I was following the show. I love Andrew Lincoln's acting, and I think he's the best character on the show. Other than some wittiness from Negan and some others. How can you make Daryl this story was never, like, Daryl barely had any dialogue to begin with. Like, last season, he was just on a revenge quest to kill as many saviors as possible. He had a lot of built-up animosity between himself and Dwight. He forgave Dwight, sort of. And that was about it. Like, it was really just his relationship with Dwight and then also his anger over wanting to kill the saviors. Like, he didn't have... Like, there's not really been... That's actually been a kind of a complaint. There hasn't really been that much kind of character development with Daryl ever since season 5 and 6, where he's given that job in Alexandria to go get new people, and finding Dwight is part of his task of trying to bring new people back to Alexandria, asking them the 3 questions, and obviously that backfires in a major way. Dwight steals his crossbow, steals his bike, and then that has major repercussions moving forward, because obviously all the, what Dwight does, killing Denise, getting captured, like, he blames himself from that point forward. That one act back in the beginning of season 6 set up a huge insanity of events with the Saviors moving forward. So that's about all that Daryl's story has really had. But Rick is, the main guy. This is Rick, how he was, like, the theme of season 7, the beginning of the season, Rick was broken by Negan. The end of the season, Rick is free. He's on a revolutionary quest to take Negan down. And then in season 8, he's trying to kill Negan at all costs. Carl dies. He goes a little crazy and loopy. Again, great acting. And then obviously towards the end, he has to make the decision, his mercy. Like, the first episode of season 8 is a flash forward to the last episode of season 8. My mercy prevails over my wrath. Words that Rick says. Like, this whole season of season 8 had everything to do with him. And every single season of this show, you can trace back to Rick being the main guy, the main person, the guy in the driver's seat. Literally, the first scene of The Walking Dead, the pilot episode, is Rick Grimes driving in the driver's seat of his cop car. When he gets to that gas station, then he sees the zombie girl that with the robe on, and he has to shoot her. Dude, this series, the first scene of this series when Frank Darabont was in charge of this show was Rick freaking Grimes. He is still alive, as this article says, as of issue 178. He is still alive in the Walking Dead comic books, which is like 50 or 60 issues beyond where we're at right now in the show. And as I've shown you, they've been releasing cast photos. There have been cast photos from the usual Spoiling Dead crew. They have taken photos of Rick with a new short haircut look, riding horses with the rest of the crew, the rest of the cast, Ezekiel, Michonne, the whole crew. So we know he's in season 9, but now this report is apparently saying he's only going to be in why even sign on to season 9 in the first place? Like, obviously, they can't just begin season 9 and just say, oh yeah, Rick died, and not explain that. But this is horrible, man. Apparently, Andrew Lincoln in December told THR there needs to be an endgame, and that is something that is definitely being talked about. In February, the actor said, there's certainly an endgame in my head. Whether or not that's the same endgame in the producers' heads or the people I work with is another matter. See, that's the thing. We don't know what the endgame of the show is, because there's still a lot of comic book material for them to cover. There's, how civilization is doing after the war with Negan. There's the Whisperer War. And now, right now, the comic book is covering the Commonwealth, which is this giant group that lives in a stadium with these high-tech soldiers, almost like the Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout, if anyone's played the Fallout games. It's the biggest community I've ever faced. It's very far from them. They're actually just meeting Rick's group now in the comics. I don't want to spoil too much, but at this point, if the show keeps diverging from the comics, spoiling the comics isn't even going to matter. All right? I can understand if in the past, in the comic books, Glenn is killed by Negan. That would be a spoiler, because in the show, Negan also kills Glenn, but of course it's kind of changed up because of Abraham and the first person's perspective. And yada, yada, yada. Says, news that Lincoln is leaving The Walking Dead comes as the franchise is poised to reinvent itself again. So, yeah, so Angela Kang, as you guys know, is going to be the showrunner. Gimple has moved on to a larger role with AMC as the chief creative officer of all things Walking Dead after Kirkman exited his overall deal with the cable network for a rich deal with it. Yeah, so Kirkman... So this is so bizarre to me. So Kirkman had falling outs with AMC. I think he's trying to sue them. He leaves, goes to Amazon or whatever, and now Scott Gimple is the franchise head of The Walking Dead. Even though even though Robert Kirkman is still the genius and the mastermind behind The Walking Dead, he created the show. He created the comic book, and the show is based off the comic book. So if the show is going to keep basing off the comic book, they're basing it off of the work of someone who's not working at AMC anymore. I don't understand this. We knew that for a long time that Season 8 was in many ways the end of a chapter of the show, Gimple told THR. The differences that people will be seeing in Season 9 and beyond are going to be pronounced. It's going to be a very different show with characters handling very different situation challenges and threats. These characters will be different in a lot of ways. Well, no shit, if Rick is dead... Dude, I can't believe this. The thing is, this hasn't been confirmed by AMC. This hasn't been confirmed. And... all of these news outlets, Forbes, Hollywood Reporter, which is what I'm reading this, and I think it was Collider. Collider was the first one to report this because they had some insider knowledge, and the insider knowledge was that Andrew Lincoln would only be in 6 episodes, he's leaving the show, and Daryl is going to be his replacement for the main character of the show, and because of that, he's getting a $20 million deal, which is a huge raise for him. So... I guess congratulations, Norman Reedus. I mean, what is he doing other than the motion capture for that Hideo Kojima game, and then some other side projects. So I guess for Norman Reedus, he's like, screw it, I'll just be on The Walking Dead forever. But it's just we're seeing a trend now where there's not enough faith in the Walking Dead franchise because that actor Frank Delane in Fear the Walking Dead, who plays Nick. Remember, again, this is spoilers for Fear the Walking Dead, but the character of Nick was killed off a few weeks ago, and it was revealed that the actor who plays him wanted off the show. So the creators had to find a creative way of killing his character off. Now, so far, Fear the Walking Dead has done a good job, because it's almost like a murder mystery that you have to put together. All of the scenes are out of order. You have to figure out what's going on with the vultures, and it's been an interesting structure, very different from the previous Fear the Walking Dead seasons. So I got to give it credit. But with the Walking Dead, there is no way. Like, not having Rick in this show is a huge drawback. Like, I don't care if you give Rick the most fulfilling death imaginable. Like, there's no way. Like, how is Rick gonna die? Like, the Saviors are defeated. The only way Rick could die is if he's bitten by a walker, just like Carl died. Or the Whisperers kill him if they introduce the new group in season 9. That, like, what? This is, dude. So guys, I don't know if I will continue the Walking Dead reaction videos. I'm just gonna have to say that right now, and I'm gonna reveal to you guys that I didn't say this, but I was kind of on the fence about doing the reaction videos for season 9, just because of the viewership on my channel and just changing circumstances in my life. I didn't know if I would have time to continuously review the Walking Dead TV show. Like, I'm finding that I'm having less and less time to deal with the channel, you know, just in terms of the busyness of my life. But, you know, I was interested in the new direction that The Walking Dead was going to go in. So I actually said to myself, no, I should still do the reaction videos. You know, Angela Kang, there's going to be a new showrunner. It's going to be a time jump. There's going to be new things. Like, it should be a revamp of the series, and it'll be really cool. Dude, if this is true, I have no enthusiasm for, like, even though Rick's going to be in 6 episodes, I have zero enthusiasm for season 9. For a season that I should have had enthusiasm in, I have none now. And I don't know if this was a leak, because why this, it's May 29th, May 28th that this information came out. Months, so like 2-3 months before the Comic-Con trailer comes out, San Diego Comic-Con, because every San Diego Comic-Con there's a trailer that comes out for the upcoming season. So you're like 2 months away from that, and then you're like 4, 5, 6 months from October when the next season's supposed to start. So what? This information is going viral. So how, if AMC did this to trick people, you're killing your viewership. Everyone's gonna think that Rick's dead, and they're not even gonna give your season premiere a chance. You're shooting yourself literally in the foot. And AMC hasn't commented. They haven't commented. They haven't confirmed, denied. They haven't done anything. So what are we supposed to believe as the fans? Because people are jumping ship. They're literally jumping ship. And and for me, for my YouTube channel, like, I usually make, you know, Walking Dead vlogs talking about predictions, character prediction. Like, how can I make any of those in good faith now, knowing that the main guy of the show is going to die? Because he is the sun, and every other character, they're the planets, all right? If we're doing the metaphor of a solar system here, Rick is the sun, I don't know, Maggie is the Earth, Daryl is Mercury, I don't know, I'm just making this shit up, but but Rick is the center upon which every other character in the show revolves. If you take Rick out, you will literally throw everyone else into orbit, and it will be chaos. There is no way possible that this show can work without Rick Grimes. The day Rick Grimes dies is the day this show dies. And even if they continue the show beyond Rick Grimes, the viewership's going to be terrible. Like, the viewership's already been going down. To do this, that's suicide. You're killing your show. And just in time for Angela Kang to take over as showrunner, like, I would be freaking out. Like, if I was in her shoes, like, I'm taking on showrunner for a show that's now in dire straits. You know, Fear the Walking Dead, that's a very unpredictable, like, where's that show gonna go now that they just had to kill off another one of their major characters with Nick, because they killed Travis off in season 3. Now they killed off Nick in season 4. So they just lost, in 2 seasons, they lost like 2 of their main guys. You know, where's the show going to really end up? It's already into, you know, it's going to finish its 4th season by the end of this year. How many seasons is it really going to have? And then the same goes with The Walking Dead. Like, it's on to its 9th season. And for me, like, I know it's not going to end because it's following the comics, and the comics doesn't have a clear-cut ending yet. And I think, honestly, that's where a lot of the problems come in. I'm starting to be, like, for me, I like the fact that Robert Kirkman keeps putting out, he keeps pumping out these comics. He keeps pumping them out, pumping them out, pumping them out. He just keeps going from one group to the next to the next. Like, there's always conflicts and new characters, and just things just keep going and going and going and going. I think when you translate that into the television show, like, I think people are just getting burnt out because there's no end in sight. Like, for season 8, or I guess since the middle of season 6, for 2 seasons now, defeating Negan and the Saviors has been like the main goal of The Walking Dead. Now that season 8 has accomplished that goal, it really does feel like a huge chapter of the show, as Scott Gimple said, has ended. So, other than rebuilding civilization, like, what's the end game of this show? It has to either end with all the characters dying, them just living happily ever after and having no issues or problems, which you could technically end season 8 and do that, or with them curing the zombie virus, which was teased with Eugene, but of course he didn't actually know how to cure it. Those are your 3 options. Like, I don't know how else you can end the show. And every other TV show that's gone for a long period of time has ended. Game of Thrones is ending next year with its 8th season. You know, the Night King, Cersei, all of the villains of Game of Thrones will be defeated. We'll have a lot of main character deaths, heartbreak, oh my god, crying, and then the show will end either on a really good note, like Breaking Bad, or a cliffhanger bullshit note like The Sopranos. But no matter what it is, it'll be an ending, okay? Breaking Bad ended. Sopranos ended. Game of Thrones next year is ending. So, The Walking Dead is in this, like, limbo where it's, like, it's a zombie survival show so they can keep surviving, but at the same time, they have to keep surviving because they want to survive, and if I say the word survive again, I'm going to punch myself in the face. I was excited about the conflicts ahead. With the Whisperers, they're an interesting group. The Commonwealth, they look interesting, and I'm interested to see how the show handles them. I also want to see Negan's character arc now that he's in prison. Again, what happens? What happens now? Like, it is blowing my mind that this is happening. Like, Negan was imprisoned by Rick. If Rick's gone, what happens with Negan? Like, okay, yeah, Daryl and Negan have a really heated relationship, and that improving or going in the opposite direction, okay, fine. But again, it was Rick. Rick was the main guy. It was Rick versus Negan. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this much because it seems obvious. It seems it seems so obvious that the show needs Rick. I shouldn't have to be going through the 700 reasons why it's stupid to kill him off. So, all right, I won't make the video go on too long, but this is the last Walking Dead vlog for not ever, but just, I mean, for a bit. I mean, I don't know what else other content to really pump out for you guys, because we're at a crossroads here. Like, where does the show go? Like, again, if this is true, I don't know if this is really true, but major YouTubers, Trev's Chan 2. Other major YouTubers, all these news outlets, everyone's reporting on this like it's fact. So, either they know something I don't, or the insider source was correct. Oh my god. Oh, dude, The Walking Dead was my favorite show for, like, years. Like, Sunday nights, 9 o'clock, like that, yes, I, jump on, watch it. But now, like, I'm losing my favorite show now. And it sucks. Like, in 2018, I will lose my favorite show because the first half of season 9 will put an end to Rick Grimes and Maggie, and I'm going to see the collapse of that. Oh, again, if this is true, I hope to God this is not true. But if it is, then the show, like, it's done. Like, they should just make season 9 the last season, because there's no way you can come back from this. There's no way. Too far gone. The Walking Dead is too far gone. If I'm using dialogue from The Walking Dead itself, it is too far gone. If Rick goes, the show is too far gone. That $20 million you paid Norman Reedus, like, I don't know where you're going to be getting that money. I don't know where, because your ratings are going to go just like a stock market crash. Like, you can't. You can't. And again, I hope Andrew Lincoln understands. Like, why wouldn't they be paying Andrew Lincoln that $20 million? They should be on their knees, they should be on their knees with their hands like this, praying, saying, Mr. Lincoln, please don't leave our show. Please, we will give you this, and we'll give you your, we'll give this for your family, and this, and this, and this. They should be, like, rolling out the red carpet for this guy. Because again, when he leaves, the show is gone. So, Scott Gimple, Angela Kang, the whole team, they need to understand this. They should. On some level, they have to. And why? And there have been rumors that it's because Andrew Lincoln wants to move on and do movies and other things. And that's the other tricky part, because that does make sense. He's been doing this since 2010. So does there become a point where you get burnt out, where you're like, oh, geez, like, another freaking year of zombies and characters and But again, for me, if the story is interesting, like Andrew Lincoln should have known what he was signing on for. Like, Robert Kirkman, I'm sure Robert Kirkman and Scott Gimple have talked to Andrew Lincoln, like, yeah, we see the show going on for this many seasons, and my comic book's going to be this long. Like, Andrew Lincoln had the choice back then to say, oh, yeah, I'll do that, or I'm not sure, I might want to rethink this. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to upload this. Let me know what you think, because this is highly depressing, and it sucks. So, anyway, on that note, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.